What if there was a Pokemon game where you play as a mailman? My goal is to make that game a reality, because sadly, despite a massive need for a Pokemon mailman game, there is none. And I've decided to document the process. So how do we do it? Let's go find out. How the heck do we even start this? Well, we want to be able to play as a mailman, right? So I decided to start designing the character first to truly get that mailman look and feel. I found this character customizer online that seemed really cool and easy to use. With a few of my own edits to the sprites provided, I was rather easily able to piece together a mailman. But that's when the first problem arose. The paralysis of too many choices. The character resources had a lot of awesome options. There were 4 different hair options for the boys and girls, and I was like, OMG, I can make character customization a thing in this game. That was my fatal mistake. There were so many cool things to customize. I could take the scarf off of the shirt with scarf sprite provided. I could make that scarf red or white. I could change the hairstyle of the character. I could even change the color of the hair. But as I started to create mailman sprites with different options for the player to choose, it hit me. I realized, wait a second, if I make all these different sprites, I'm going to also have to make a separate sprite for each individual hairstyle, and then a red scarf sprite and white scarf sprite for each individual hairstyle. And if I want them to be able to take off their hat, that's a whole different sprite. And then I would have to make a running animation for every single one of those sprites. Do you know how crazy that is? Let me break it down for you. So if I had 9 hairstyles, each with a hat and hatless option, that was already 18 sprites. Each of those with a red scarf, white scarf, and scarfless option, that would be 54 sprites. Each with a different color hair. I was gonna be here forever, but I don't have time for that. Why? Because I wanted this to be a sweet and short, simple game, maybe lasting from 1 to 3 hours. So what do we do now then? Well, I decided I should just stick to the basics, just 5 sprites. But even then, I was struggling to decide, and after about 1 to 2 hours of making the walking and running sprite for just the base character, I decided to scrap all the other sprites and just keep the base mailman character I made as the only character. Okay, so we finally have our main mailman main character. Onwards to the front sprite! I had to make sure the sprite looked consistent with the overworld sprite, so I tried my best to edit it properly, doing things like aligning the buttons on the uniform the way that they look on the overworld sprite, but will anyone even notice this? Then, it was finally done. Just kidding, we gotta do the back sprite now, and also make sure the front and back sprite look like they match. There was also no bag sprite to use for the front sprite in the resource pack, so I decided to just draw it myself, and honestly, for a retired childhood artist, it came out pretty good, right? Look at this. But I got a little lazy and didn't want to draw one for the back sprites, because there's quite a few of them, so that was gonna be a lot of work. So we'll just pretend our character puts the bag on the floor for a few seconds whenever he throws a Pokeball. It's a bad habit or something. Alrighty, now, all the spriting work is finally done. Nice! Now, after quickly making sure it all aligns with the game data, it was finally time to test it out. Here we go. So, we come into the world as a newborn mailman trainer. I made this really big map that we could just run around freely in, so we could run or walk in any direction for a long period of time without interruptions. And it works great! Nice! We test out all the other options like mailman with bag and hat, mailman with bag and hat plus white scarf, mailman with bag and hat plus red scarf, and we check if both the running animation and the front trainer sprite are working properly. Oh, and the back sprites too. Can't forget about the back sprite. I had to give myself a Celebi really quickly just to test it. And I also made this map for a neighborhood. just to get a feel for how the game would look, and it came out really beautiful. I'm really happy with it. Creating the character was a success, but we were missing one last thing that I wanted to add before posting about this. Let me show it to you. Bam! Doesn't that look fresh? That looks beautiful. I really love the way it came out with the Wingles and the letters and the Pelipper on the cliff and the wing babies in the distance. I was inspired to use Wingle because in the first ever Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, I remember playing it on my Game Boy. I also remember losing it to the depths of my car seat crevice when I was a kid. But anyway, in that game, they deliver mail to you via Pelipper. Wow, I am so proud of this title screen. It makes a good thumbnail too, right? I worked on it for a total of maybe 2 to 3 hours or something to get it to look super nice like this. But anyways, so if you want to play Pokemon Mailman version soon, like and subscribe so I can keep you updated on the development. Alright, stay awesome, my friends.